All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome once again. Today we will be looking at technical analysis, how to trade smart, and we're using the Canadian fundamental news release that is scheduled for now. So without wasting any time, I want to start by saying this one's for beginners and advanced people as well, okay? And I would like to give a promo code that will be able to actually supercharge your trading. It will supercharge your balance, and you don't want to miss out on this. So if you'd like to maximize your profits and take your trades to the next level, be sure to use that promo code. All right, so without wasting any time, once again, welcome to the stream. If you've just joined in, this is Tony at the Tony Trades channel. And today we're going to learn about combining, how to combine technical analysis and fundamentals to trade like a pro on pocket options. If you can hear me, I'd like to see a plus. Just write quickly in the comments if you can hear me. You could quickly put a quick plus there, and I'll technical to know that you've joined in, and from where are you joining in, because that's also very important. Okay, so without wasting any time, before we dive into today's data, as you can see, we have some data that has been released. Just like to refresh my calendar, and I will walk you over each and every data set that's been released. Okay, I'd like to know if you're joining in, where are you joining in from? This is very important before we start. Be sure to leave a comment. We'll have a Q&A at the end. That Q&A will be for you to dialogue and let me know if you can reach out, ask some questions. There'll be that little time left for you. So before we dive into today's data, we're looking at technical analysis, all right? So I don't want to waste anyone's time here. You've probably heard of technical analysis, fundamental analysis. You've also probably heard of sentimental analysis, correlative analysis, and many types of analysis. But today we're going to focus on combining technical analysis and fundamentals. So technical analysis, in simple terms, is price movement patterns, just the study of this. We use tools like support and resistance. We use candlestick patterns and indicators like RSI. So if you move to the Pocket Option platform, you'll be able to see a list of indicators that we use. So I mentioned RSI. So it's just pretty much assessing the indicator, the chart pattern, and coming up to some kind of conclusions. We also could look into support and resistance. We also could look into candlestick patterns. Technical analysis helps us to make very objective trading decisions, not emotional ones, all right? So if you see a buy signal and you just jump in, that's very emotional, depending on your capital that you're basing on. So for example, if you can see a zone here, all right, allow me to put a horizontal line here. All right, if you see this zone here, every time price taps this zone, for some reason it bounces off, okay? This is support. If you see the same instance on the upper side, which is the resistance, price seems to have some kind of limit. So price will never get out until a certain force in news event, or buyers are over the sellers and so forth. So this is just understanding technical. Now if you look at fundamental on the other side, for example, today we have Canadian dollar news. We have two major economic indicators being released for Canada. You can jump on any economic calendar out there, and today we'll be just using Forex Factory. This is, every beginner uses that, but they're more institutionalized, data. You could tap into artificial intelligence and many other subscribable platforms out there that have very insightful fundamentals. So today we have Canada fundamental analysis. Once again, is trading pretty much studying economic, political, and of course social factors that affect the value of a currency or asset or even security. So in the Forex market, it involves analyzing news releases like employment data, like today we have inflation, CPI. We also have interest rates, we have GDP, and many others like central bank speeches. So the goal is to understand how strong or how weak a country's economy is, all right? So this helps predict whether its currency will rise or fall. Now, once again, the goal is to understand how strong or weak a country's economy is, okay? If we look at today's data, employment change, what is it? This employment change over here. Now, if you tap on the file to the right and you reach out to the source of the data, it will take you to the government site, which is the Statistics Canada. And you will be able to check out what's going on, the scheduled releases. For example, today's 11th of July. And you will be able to check out major economic releases. So there we are. So if you click that, we have labor force survey and the building permits. Now, for more analytical traders, you'll be able to dive into this data. But the thing is, you don't have enough time to do that, right? If you don't have enough, oh, by the way, my TikTok guys and Instagram, please join my live stream on YouTube. You'll be able to watch me live. So back to my live here. So, this happens very quickly and you don't have enough time to rush through this data, especially if you're a scalper. That's why we have these quick data bulletins that come in. So employment change, what is it? This measures the net number of jobs added or lost, okay, in the Canadian economy during the past month. And naturally, a higher than expected number, or rather more jobs, equals economic growth and hence a stronger Canadian dollar. Now, on the contrary, if you have a lower than expected negative number, for example, all these are positive. So if it's negative, it means fewer jobs, and that leads to economic weakness and, of course, a weaker Canadian dollar. So it's considered one of the most important short-term indicators of economic growth. Why? You might ask yourself, why? Because when more people are working, they spend more money, and that boosts the economy and, of course, strengthens the currency. Now, if you look at the second one, unemployment rates, which is also 6.9, it's a positive but slightly lower than the forecast, which is still not bad, and many traders out there might misinterpret this information. So what is the unemployment rate? What is it? Unemployment rate just shows the percentage of labor force that is unemployed but actively looking for work. So a lower unemployment rate equals tight labor market, which is, bullish for the Canadian dollar. Now, a higher rate, on the contrary, equals economic struggle, which also equates to a bearish, Canadian dollar. So think of it this way. If fewer people are unemployed, it means businesses are hiring. And what does that mean? It means the economy is healthy. So when these two economic data numbers are released together, they paint a picture of what's happening in Canada's job market. And since the Forex market reacts instantly, we position our trades based on how the real numbers compares to the forecast. So once again, we have a forecast of the employment change, which is 0.9, which is actually much lower than the previous. And we have 83 coming in, and also for the unemployment rate, which is 6.9. So combining all this, we see a stronger Canadian dollar. Now, if we jump into the expectations for today, we want to look at the forecast, which of course we've already identified. And we have to ask ourselves the following questions. Does the data beat the Canadian strength? And what also does that mean? We need to look at all correlated pairs for the Canadian dollar. We have the USD CAD, we have the Australian dollar CAD, we have the Canadian Swiss franc, Canadian Japanese yen, and the Australian dollar and Canadian dollar again, but that is OTC. And there are many other currencies, many other pairs that are relevant. But in this case, we are going to focus on the USD CAD. Now, you might want to check out different time frames. Usually, fundamental news reacts so quick on the 1 minute. Now, I'd like to recommend, or rather suggest, when you're preparing for a trade setup based on both technical zones and fundamental triggers, you want to keep your trades exclusively short. The reason why you have exclusive trades being short is we never have an precise expectation of the market. The market might move very fast or stall, and it's a Friday, so you don't want to be locked in the middle of a trade going into the weekend. So if we open Pocket Options, this is my preferred broker, and I will let you know why. So the reason being is they have a very cool feature. So they have many features, but for this fundamental particular trading session, I like to use the finance the finance tool on their dashboard. If you go to MySafe, they have an opportunity. They have a tool that is able to segregate data. So let's say you'd like to trade just $1,000, all right? I'd have to remove 16,000 from my main account. And if you look back here, we have just $1,000. Now, this also helps factor in greed. Majority of traders out there are very greedy. You want to control that. You want to be very, very careful how you trade during these fundamental sessions. So we don't jump in very early. We need to identify some of these potential trade zones. So looking at the USD CAD, we already can map out two areas. We can map out the support and we could map out the resistance, right? So there you have it. We're looking at this zone, and if we zoom out to the 30-minute, looking at the top bottom analysis, we can see a bigger resistance up there and a bigger support there. So automatically this calls for a level of patience. The data hasn't yet really trickled down because remember, institutions are jumping in as well. So people will assess the data. It usually takes about 15 minutes. Whenever you see moves spiking before the news release, this simply means that heavy hitters, like I like to call them, or institutional funds have already priced in and they just take out their profit later on. So we have positive data. Employment rose more than expected. As you can see, we have employment rising as expected. We had unemployment rates also pretty much positive but lower than previous. So they have dropped. It's negative. So we've got a surprise miss, all right? This will shake up the Canadian pairs. So when we're executing trades on Pocket Option, first of all, I would like to let you know that they have a really cool feature here for your risk, all right? We have time trades, and you could actually put the amount that you'd like to risk. So if, for instance, I have 1,000 capital, I will probably risk about, say, 1%, all right? But many of you out there on fundamentals, you'd like to make quite a lot. So if I'm risking, let's say 10%, that is $10, and looking at the time there, okay, there you go. So we're risking $10 and we're going to execute. But before that, I'd also like to run you through sentiment. You need, actually, it's a must. You need to know the sentiment going on around. So I usually use different other sites that can clearly show you what's going on. If we analyze the US Canadian dollar, we can immediately see that we have correlations. So if we have the Canadian dollar here, where is it? There you have it. Canadian dollar is in the negative, right? So we have that priced in. We can see that the performance is pretty bad for the Canadian dollar. If we move on to the sentiment on, let's say, this site here, we can see a list of brokers. If we refresh that page, we'll be able to see that the sentiment for the Canadian dollar is currently at 54.55%, right? So it means that averagely from a basket of majority of brokers, 54.55% are going long, while 45.45% are short. Okay, so we have a stall. It's not quite clear, all right? And what we want to do now is focus on the technical side. Another thing that I like about Pocket Options is the fact that they have a list of so many indicators. Today we'll be focusing on the RSI, but I have many other strategies that I've already explained, and feel free to check out my YouTube channel, all right? There I explain to you in detail how to use them. And for further information, you could also check out my Telegram group. I've released a course. You could also sign up for that free course. It's very good for newbies. You should take advantage of that while trading. Now, this is the simplest, one of the most classic trading strategies out there. I'm sure you've heard of it. And that is the RSI, just using the RSI. We're going to use a raw chart, support resistance, and RSI. And we will also be factoring in the scalp session because we don't want to take so long. We'll look at the 1 minute. Now, don't forget on the 1 minute, it's also stalling, all right? What do I mean by that? So market hasn't yet really figured out where it's moving. The data came in, but we haven't got enough market sentiment to move this. Usually it takes longer. Sometimes it takes 30 minutes. That is all dependable, right? On what's going on. So we start to see the RSI breaking above 50. Oh, by the way, the parameters for the RSI, I used the classic 14, and we have boundaries 30, 50, and 70. We're focusing on the USD CAD. Now, as price starts to move up, we start to see green bullish candles pressing through the above. Now, what I want to do, I want to set my boundaries over here. I want to set my micro resistance right above that part, all right? And if you have time, you can always change the colors here, just not to get confused. So we have a very nice scenario here. We have price literally moving and starting to bend down right above, or rather below, the 70 mark. Here you want to make a decision, but before that you also want to look at other pairs. What are other pairs doing? The Australian Canadian dollar pressed down. So we had a big spike right at the peak of the hour. Sorry, of the news release, which indicated that the Canadian dollar had, of course, factored in the positive data that came in, and it pushed down. If you look at the Canadian Swiss franc, if you look at 30, where is 30? Yes, we had price push down and up. So today's price is pretty much not the best. You don't want to make rushy decisions. You don't want to rush while trading. Oh, we have a nice one here. So Canadian Japanese yen. Remember, we're focusing on the 1 minute. If you have any questions, please feel free to write. Ask me live questions. I will be able to answer you in real time. Okay. We have Jesus Gospel coming in. Hello. We have Football Designer. Yes, feel free to ask many questions, and we are having the technical analysis basics. We're learning how to trade using pocket options today. All right. Great. All right. So we have a couple of people of you joining in, which is good. All right. Where are you? We have a couple of people joining in. Okay, while you wait for the Q&A at the end, we are having a scenario here. We had price pushing up, it crossed our support, and also the RSI refused to cross the 70 border. All right. You will need to wait. Once price breaks out the 70 and also crosses the previous high, bearish high, we will probably set a limit order there. All right. But if it moves very fast, you want to buy. Now we want to set the time to 5 seconds. All right. 5 seconds will walk. I usually use 5 seconds on fundamentals. So once price breaks the previous, we set the buy. All right. We set the buy for 5 seconds, and there you go, guys. $19. As simple as that. We have $1,000. We've risked 1%. All right. 1% to gain 1%. So the risk to reward is very clear. Now that was our first win today. I'm doing this for beginners because if you're a pro and you're using advanced systems, you will want to increase that RRR, all right? The risk to reward ratio. It's very important to focus on the risk. So as you can see, prices started to move. What does that mean? It means that the Canadian dollar is weak in this particular scenario. Now, if you're looking at the US dollar, you also want to check out the correlations on the indices. check out the indices, the DAX. You want to look at the stock market as well to kind of get a real-time understanding of how strong the US dollar is. So if I look at my top Forex performer leaders today, we have the US dollar is outperforming. We have the US dollar, South Africa rand, Brazilian real, Mexican peso. So we already see that the dollar is very strong here. And if you look at other sites, you'll also be able to see the correlation analysis in the US dollar. And if you refresh this sentimental average, we now see that averagely the Canadian dollar is increasing. So 55% are long with the US CAD. And with both those factors and our technical analysis, we have pulled the trigger, and that is our fast profit. It's quite low, I understand, but if you're a newbie, you want to take this very, very slowly, right? A disclaimer, this is not financial advice. We are just having an educative session for you. And that is it, my dear ladies and gentlemen. It was a quick one. Thank you all for joining in. You know, this is my fast live on the YouTube. I'll be doing more of this. Also, don't forget to use the promo code Tony100. You get 100% bonus, all right, on your fast deposit. Deposit 500, you get 500 extra, and that also helps with leveraging some of your trades. So I'll take a Q&A now. Some of you have questions, people around the social sites. We have TikTok there and Instagram. Make sure you join me in my pro group. I'll be giving you more gems on how to trade like a pro. You want to take it very easy. You want simple strategies. You don't want to complicate things. You want to use, oh, by the way, make sure you check out my YouTube page. We have so many strategies for you. Don't forget, every instrument has its respective template. It has a respective strategy, and we share all these nuggets in our program, right? Okay, we got some questions coming in. Right. Let us see if we have any questions. Do we have any questions? Okay, well, so during fundamentals, 1 or 2 or 3 trades is enough, all right? We could keep going on here, but with the USD, it's probably going to move forward. If you check on the 30-minute, we can see a strong bullish candle breaking through the entire micro level, and of course the macro level will come in. So I want to be keen in the next 15 to 30 minutes what is happening here. Don't forget to use the right risk management, guys. I'll be seeing you soon. We'll also have more checkups and understanding, not just technical analysis. We'll have overlays or visual segments for you. I'll also be sharing pre-news trade setups on Sunday. We also look into news reaction and of course live trading. I break down trades, I break down lifestyle and mindset, because I've realized that mindset is one of the most important tools that you will have while doing this. It's very important to have a right mindset before you come here and delve into back testing, check out different strategies, what works for you. And we of course have a beautiful, amazing community that is out there to help you whenever you need or ask for some help. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much, and see you in the next live trading session next week. Cheers.